On and talk about something that maybe you're aware of, maybe you're not. Coyotes in your neighborhood. Have you seen them? They're there, whether you've seen them or not. Let's talk about it right now with Summer Fink from UGA, talking about what you should know. Summer, good morning to you. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so coyotes, they are certainly here in Atlanta. I've seen them a time or two when I come into work at like 3 in the morning. But when are they active, and what should folks know about them?
Yeah, so it's funny you say you just saw them at 3 a.m. because that's actually when they're most active is at night. They're really trying to avoid people, so anytime after the sun goes down is when they're gonna kind of start waking up.
And what should we know when it comes to cohabitating with coyotes?
Yeah, so coyotes are wild animals, right? Like we have to treat them like they are wild animals, just like raccoons, foxes, everything. So the biggest thing with living with coyotes is making sure that you are protecting yourself, your pets, and your children. The biggest thing is just keeping your dog on a leash, making sure that you're not feeding coyotes, whether that's on purpose or on accident. So essentially, that means like if you're putting out food for a cat, an outdoor cat, the wild animals are also getting access to that food. Coyotes, raccoons, foxes, everything. So just making sure that you're kind of being aware of those situations and protecting yourself.
So if I suspect I might have a coyote den somewhere near my backyard, what should I be doing and what should I not be doing?
So mostly coyotes are trying to avoid us, especially during this time of year when they have puppies. Just like humans, they want to protect their puppies. And in our study, we found that basically, compared to what's available to them on the landscape, they were really selecting areas that have a lot of cover, forested areas. So they're really trying to kind of den in spaces where there's not people. But if there is a den that's a little bit close to your house or you're feeling uncomfortable, the biggest thing is just to make sure that your dog doesn't run off into the area that you think there's a den, or you don't venture off into that area, or your kids don't venture
Hmm.
off into that area. Um, just recognizing that they are wild animals, just like us humans, we want to protect our young. They may do that as well. So just kind of avoiding the space that you think that there may be a den.
Summer, tell me a little bit about the research you guys did. It included outfitting a number of coyotes with collars, right? GPS tracking collars here in Atlanta. What did you find?
Yeah, so basically we use the GPS locations from the adults that wear the collars, and then we go to those den sites and we take a bunch of fun measurements, look at what they're denning inside of, and where exactly that den is on the landscape. So for us, we found that coyotes were denning in natural structures as well as anthropogenic structures. So it ranged from they dug a hole in the ground to they burrowed inside of a tree, or one time we found like a abandoned boat that was kind of like
Hmm.
overturned in the woods somewhere, and basically they just tunneled underneath that. So we saw that they're using a lot of different stuff, whether it was man-made or natural, and as long as there was really no human presence at that space, they're willing to use those dens.
So it sounds like they're able to adapt to urban environments just fine, right?
Yes, for sure. They're super adaptable species, for sure.
Okay, and tell me about the particular season we find ourselves in. By the way, today is the first day of spring. We are 25 minutes away from officially ringing in spring. What does this time of year mean for coyotes and coyote puppies?
Yeah, so coyotes will start to give birth in mid-March to mid-April, and this is way earlier than some of the cities like Chicago in the northern part of the country. So they're actually coming here a little bit early. We just need to be aware that they are going to give birth March, April, and then those puppies will stay really close to the den all the way up until August. So just kind of cautiously knowing like, hey, there's coyotes around and what we can do to protect ourselves.
That's very interesting stuff. I believe this is like the first research of its kind, right? Is there anything else you want to add about it today?
Yeah, so there was one study done in Canada, but obviously this is the Southeast, some things may be different. Uh, we just wanted to see what was going on. We didn't know very much about the decisions they're making for this critical point in their biological cycle. Uh, and so kind of seeing, oh, actually they are being super adaptable. Actually, they are trying to avoid people, even though it's like sometimes it may not feel that way. They are purposefully trying to be in spaces where there's not people. So yeah, that was some of our biggest findings.
All right, Summer. If folks want to read the study for themselves, where can they find it? And by the way, I have some of the photos pulled up here. That's fascinating. So they can go see that for themselves. What should folks be googling to find it?
Yeah, so for our general project, you can find us on Wildlife Atlanta. We have a lot of resources, conflict related resources, how to protect yourself, and research stuff. But the paper itself is open access. So that means that anybody can read it, anybody can uh, look at it. It's a little bit more technical. So if you're looking for more of the fun stuff, follow us on social media. But the paper itself is in this article that you're showing, and it's in ecology and evolution.
Very good. Summer Fink from UGA. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.